What's going on, peeps? And today we are going to discuss why Luke Combs covered the classic 80s singer-songwriter tune Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. The story of Tracy Chapman has been told many times before. It is a timeless, generational cut that has been recognized as one of the best songs of all time. Now, this cover from Combs is on its way to become one of his all-time biggest hits, as well as outpeaking the original on the Billboard Hot 100. But why is this cover of Fast Car so special, and how did it become this popular? I might have a few answers. We are currently living in a sample-heavy time in the music industry, where every song you listen to on the radio seems to be borrowing from another older song from years ago. Either the music industry has run out of ideas for original songs, or the music audience is overly nostalgic. This could be the case, as we've been seeing more and more songs from several years ago having second wins like See You Again by Tyler the Creator, Sure Thing by Miguel, Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift, and Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush. The daily Spotify charts that moderate the most popular songs in America still contain nearly decade-old smashes like No Role Models by J. Cole, Die For You by The Weeknd, Money Trees by Kendrick Lamar, and Sweater Weather by The Neighborhood. It's not even just TikTok trends. These songs have been lasting longer than even the new singles that have been getting released every single day. So it makes sense that Luke Combs would want to do a cover of a classic song that I'm sure everyone knows based on the response. Country artists doing covers of older songs isn't a new thing, and doing so could end up giving you one of your most known hits. Chris Stapleton's Tennessee Whiskey and Darius Rucker's Wagon Wheel are both covers of older songs and are currently their best-selling songs of all time. These covers not only appeal to the current generation, but the older one who grew up on these songs. Seeing these hits from long ago being brought back from the dead is fascinating to see. Rascal Flatts introducing Life is a Highway to a whole new audience of kids for the Cars movie franchise, whose parents would have never imagined them witnessing. But the funny thing is that this isn't the first time that Fast Car has been brought back into the mainstream. Remember this cover? This is Jonas Blue's 2015 tropical house rendition of Fast Car with British singer Dakota doing the vocals. It was his mother's favorite song, and he had wanted to play the original during his set. However, it was too slow for the live dance environment. He decided to mix together a dance version of the track to fulfill his dreams. This was put out around the time that EDM was at its peak popularity-wise, now being Blue's debut and most popular single. It also went on to peak higher than Chapman's original in the United Kingdom at number 2. It didn't cross over that well in the US, barely managing to make the chart entirely, but worldwide it was a massive song, reaching 1 billion Spotify streams. While it propelled Blue into the EDM mainstream, Chapman was also collecting a majority of the royalties, so it was a win-win. The same thing is currently happening with Luke Combs' cover. Combs' cover is obviously more traditional and organic than Blue's, similar to the 1988 original. Folk rock and neo-traditional country are quite alike, but why did Luke want to release an official cover of the song in the first place? It turns out that Luke had a personal connection with the song growing up, and it even inspired a hit song of his, Going Going Gone. It's one of the first songs he ever remembered hearing. He recalls listening to the song with his dad Chester Combs at 4 years old inside of his brown 2x4 truck. There was a tape cassette player in there which he'd used to play the Fast Car track. He has the original cassette today, which his dad had brought to him a couple years ago. The only music I have in my shop is a cassette player. I love to go to antique stores and you get a bunch of cassette tapes for 50 cents, and some of the best records of all time are on cassette. I guess nostalgia played a factor in why Luke Combs decided to put this out, remembering the simpler, good old days with his dad, where everything including music wasn't always at his fingertips. It may seem strange for Luke to want to cover this. The song is written by a female, so surely it'd be weird to hear a grown man sing about being a checkout girl. Maybe if he changed a few lyrics? However, Luke didn't care and kept the original lyrics. You want to just be mega respectful of the song. That's why in that song, it's like, work in the market as a checkout girl. I didn't change that in my version. I really want to just do the original version of the song. It's weird because you're doing a cover of it and you say, I don't want to make it my own because I just really want to shine a light on the original version. Because I think there's so many people that maybe know that song or it'd be familiar to them, but they really don't know anything about it. When I recorded this, literally the engineer in there asked me who I wrote the song with. Luke respects the song so much that he didn't want to make it his own, and instead shine the spotlight on the original. He had never met Tracy, but he could understand her story. Respectable decision. Luke started performing Fast Car during his college days around the house. He'd introduced his rendition to the world during a series of live performances published on his social media throughout the 2020 COVID lockdown. The fans absolutely loved the cover, calling it the best one they'd heard of the classic. They were encouraging him to release an official version. Luke figured, why not? It had been such a big part of his life that it only made sense for him to put out an official version. It also makes sense in context with his coming of age, getting old album, all about loving how life is at the moment, but also missing what it used to be.
So I remember when we were driving in your car, speed so fast it felt like I was drunk.
It was officially put out as a deep cut for the record on March 24th, 2023. It would quickly become a fan favorite from the record, vaulting up the iTunes chart. Despite not being a single yet, it debuted in the Billboard Hot 100's top 50. It was added to his tour set list, and now he had thousands of people every night singing the song that was deeply connected to his childhood. It would continue to spread on the TikTok app as expected, a whole new generation being introduced to one of the greatest songs of all time, as well as the older generation reliving past memories with the original. It is now Luke's third top 10 single in the States, peaking at number 2, skyrocketing up the country radio and even pop radio charts, sitting at 100 million streams on Spotify and selling 1 million units. And while the man had already been one of the biggest country artists in the scene, this cover has now cemented him as a legend. Due to having the publishing rights, the cover has earned Tracy about $500,000 globally, and it was put out at the best possible time, when the music of today had been heavily influenced by nostalgia and the old days. It just makes too much sense. Thank you for watching this video. Please check out Luke's cover of Fast Car. It is incredible. Luke's voice full of soul and ambition makes for a perfect cover of a song that is extremely hard to pull off. Whether you're a fan of Luke or a fan of the song itself, I think this is a moment in music that will be remembered for a long time. Maybe we'll all see what it means to be living. Peace.